Hey guys, welcome, welcome. All right, guys, welcome everyone. We'll get started shortly. Welcome everyone, welcome, welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly here, welcome. Hope everyone's having a great week. We'll get started shortly. Hey Stella, welcome. Hey Travis, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, David.
Hey, hey. Hey Jessica, welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly here. Hey Denise, welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly. Hey Daniel, welcome, welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly here. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started shortly. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started here. As you guys know, on Wednesdays, we do all about mindset, right? All about mindset, trading in the zone, right? So trading in the zone, you guys should see that picture there, that book cover on the screen. Hey, Peter, on the screen. And we use this book, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Mark Douglas, right? Master the market with confidence, discipline, and a winning attitude. All right. There are two books we recommend, highly recommend. Trading in the Zone is one of them. And we give this book to our traders when they do the one-on-one coaching with us. And the other one is Trend Following, all right, by Michael Koval. But tonight we're going to go over trading in the zone, all right, trading in the zone. So what I want to talk about tonight, I want to hear from you guys, all right? I want to hear from you guys about trades that you've had, trades that you've been in, and how you were able to manage your emotions or not manage your emotions during the trade. All right. So what we're going to do tonight is just have a conversation, all right, about how we stay in the trade, stay in the zone when we are trading. All right. So anyone out there want to start with an experience they might have had this week or last month or last year with any experience, difficulties, or even successes as far as using some of the principles in trading in the zone to help us with our trading. All right, anyone out there? All right, I'm going to call on someone. All right. How about you, Daniel?
Yeah, because you know that I make a bunch of mistakes right now.
That's not why I called on you. Oh, all
It's
right.
all right. You can give me a, I'm getting the hang of it.
You are, you sure are.
I am I think one of the most recent things I've learned
Uh-huh.
is getting used to pullbacks. And that's
Oh,
one thing that I learned the end of last week
okay.
with you guys. And you said expect 90 to 95% of the time it's gonna pull back. That's really true. And I'm not gonna lie, the pound yen scares me a lot because man, I when you said, you know, I understand a little bit when you said last week that it's like a wild horse.
Mhm.
And then this week and the experiences I've been through with pound yen is very scary. It'll go up, you know, 20 pips and it'll go back 45. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I understand because it's one of the top traded currencies.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are trading, so it's volatile. And then you know, I tested myself and I said, well, how are these other pairs compared to this? And, you know, and then you go to AU, AUD and USD, and it moves not nowhere near like that, you know. So getting used to pullbacks and trusting the process, which it's very hard, but I think through time you mature and you learn that yes, you can lose it, of course, if you're not gonna if you're not gonna put a trade in. Um, you know, you got to expect that you're going to lose it if you're going to put a trade in, but also, you know, you can't doubt yourself. Like when you put that trade in, you can't doubt yourself and say, oh, did I make a mistake? If you did, you did. But if you trust yourself and, you know, then you should expect to pull back and be okay. Be like, no, don't worry, it's going to go up. But if you do lose, then you lose. Because, you know, so that's been my emotion so far.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So pullbacks. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to go back to you. All right. Why do you think I mentioned that expect 90 to 95% of pullback, percent of the time to expect a pullback?
Because you're going against resistance and support, and resistance and support is an up and down scale.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the observations I got when you said expect a pullback.
Okay.
And also the chart is always lows and highs and lows, so that those are pullbacks within itself. But that's the observation that I got.
Okay, anyone else? Why do you guys think I mentioned that to expect a pullback 90 to 95% of the time, almost 100% of the time to anticipate or expect the pullback?
Is it because the price tests that zone? So when it, you know, when it crosses over, it's gonna test it for a little while.
Okay, very good. Very good, Daniel. Very good, Stella. Why else? Why else?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Madison.
What exactly is a pullback?
Okay, we'll go over that. Good question. We'll go over that in a minute. All right. Okay, so anyone, why do I say, hey, 90 to 95% of the time, or let's say 100% of the time, expect the pullback? Look for the pullback. Anyone else?
That's the time to take in your trades. That's all I got.
All right.
It's the institution stop lossing. They can see where people have placed stop losses, and maybe they're sort of like cleaning out scared money.
Okay, that's all technical, right? What else?
Price doesn't move straight up.
Yeah,
There's going to be some selling, some period of nothing happening, and then there's periods of buyers jumping in.
okay, why else? Remember, this is trading in the zone, right? This evening, it's trading in the zone. Mindset, right? We're talking about mindset. So why am I telling you guys to anticipate, expect a pullback 90, 95, 100% of the time?
Because by you telling us to do that, it prevents us from pulling out. So you're preparing our mindset. So therefore we can be ready for that. If you anticipate that, then you're not going to pull out and make that mistake, or, you know.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
We have to start changing our thinking.
What's that, Peter?
We have to start changing our thinking.
Yes. Yes. So when we do that, we train in ourselves, right? This is very difficult. Pullbacks, traders do not want pullbacks, right? It's just like losses. We do not want to take losses, right? So we have to train ourselves to 100% of the time, 95% of the time, anticipate the pullback. All right. It doesn't mean that you will get it every time, right? But if we anticipate it, we expect it, guess what? It's not a big deal when it happens. All right. Just like losses, right? If we know that trading is a game of probabilities, right? That we are going to have losses, right? We are going to have losses, and we are going to expect to have a loss. Guess what? Then it's not a big deal. All right, it's not a big deal. So yes, Daniel, yeah, we spoke last week, and yeah, I could, when guys, everything that you guys go through, right? Don't think that this is only you that's going through this. Everyone goes through this. Every single trader goes through the same process, right? No one gets through this process without, getting bumped around. All right. So let's look here. I'm going to share my other screen here. All right. So let's talk about, we're going to talk about pound yen and the pullback.
I got in this one today.
You got in today? All right. Peter, why did you get in today?
I was waiting for TD Ameritrade to credit my account.
Wow. Okay,
I got in today. I waited. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I heard from this is so Madison, this is the pullback here, right? This is the pullback. So price, here's our break of resistance. Right here, we got a buy signal, and then the price didn't continue to go higher like here, right? So after this buy signal here, the price went straight up, right? So here was our buy signal here. The price went straight up, never came back down, okay? Unlike here, we got a buy signal here, and then the price retraced, or we call it pullback. So the price here was our buy signal here, and this is the pullback here. So the pullback means we went negative, right? We went negative. When we got in, it just didn't go positive. It went negative first. All right, that's the pullback. And we want to talk about the yeah, I want to focus on just what happens here to us when this happens. All right. And Peter, the reason I asked why you got in here and not here is because a lot of traders will wait. Right. I spoke with Brian today, and Brian is like, you know, he got in here, he didn't get in here. All right, because he doesn't want this pullback. All right, he doesn't want, you know, he wants to be able to sleep at night. All right, but the thing is this: sometimes you won't get that opportunity, right? It might just move like this. Go ahead.
He is so right when he said that, because let me tell you something. Remember I said to you the day after, I said, Dave, Dave is not looking too good. Well, that day, I want to tell you that I woke up 3 times. Dave, I sleep with my laptop next to the, I got a special table, and I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, not because of an alarm. I just my body wakes me up, and I check it, and I'll see a negative like $300 or something. And I'll be like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? But, I mean, you know, again, you know, you can't complain if you invest, but it's just the emotional feeling. Nobody likes to feel the emotional feeling. That's all.
Yeah. So when we now there's you know, Brian has been trading with us for a while. All right. He can. I want you guys to feel this though. So Brian went through this, right? He went through this process, right? And now he's smoothed it out a bit, right? Where he doesn't want this. As new traders, I want you guys to feel this.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a pullback, do you just keep your money there? You just wait it out?
All right. When do we buy and when do we sell? We went over that last night. So when do we enter the trades, and then when do we exit the trades?
So we enter the trade at the first break of resistance.
Very good.
And we exit the trade at the first break of support.
Very good. Okay, so let's take a look at it here. So this is pound yen, and this is
You don't do anything. Stay in.
You stay in. Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay, so follow me here. All right.
Okay.
So you guys have to get, you know, after you get really savvy, you can do some things around price, right? You can do some things, but before that, you know, you've got to get to that stage, right? I mean, Ricky waits for this, right? He waits for this, right? We call this a cup and handle, right? A cup and handle, right? All right. Brian is doing this also. Cam doesn't do this. All right. So after you guys really get going, you can smooth things out a bit. All right. After you understand what price is doing. But for the new traders, you have to do this. You have to go through the pain. All right, you really do. You have to go through the pain of a drawdown, right? Where it's going to pull back, because this will happen. All right. Seldom where you will get this, where you enter and never get a pullback. All right. So you have to get used to having that pullback. All right. It's just part of trading, right? Just like taking losses is just part of trading, right? So we always talk about building your muscle, and that's part of it, right? So when we got in here, Daniel, was this the trade, or was it pound? It was pound yen, right?
That what?
That you got in pound yen?
Yeah, and I got in without even the sell signal. What I've been doing is, Dave, because I didn't get the buy signal.
Yeah, we had a misprint on this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I know you said sometimes it takes time to upload, but I was doing some charting, best of my ability, and then something said, "Man, buddy, you should probably jump in here. It looks pretty good." And when I did, that's when I got the next day is when you literally said, "Guys, jump in," basically. So I got in a little bit like around the 154, mark. Let's take a look. Let's see. I think it's 154 point. Give me a moment. 154.7 around there. The high sevens.
Okay, so you didn't get in here.
No.
Did anyone get in here at buy signal? And I know it wasn't working for you, some of you. Stella, where did you get in at?
Hang on, let me find my info. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
So Dave, besides that, I've been seeing that while she's getting that, I've been seeing that that spot that we're in right now is a very, very, very critical moment where two things can happen. The bears could take it straight down. If it lands on around the 154 mark, or it could go straight up and create a head towards a new high. So I think, well, not I think, but is that the reason why there's a lot of commotion going on right now? The bears and
It's accumulating. It's very choppy, back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we're assuming it's in the markup phase.
Yeah, because I heard that, not that I heard, but just me looking at the charts and then seeing that with the day, take it out of the 4 hour and then enter the day. Yeah, here we go. Around the 154, the 154.024, that's a supply zone for the bears, and if it enters there, it can go straight down, and that's what so that's, and
Okay. All right. So Stella said she got in right around here and here. Okay. So let's go through this. Let's go through this. All right. Now, for new traders, I want you guys to just take the trade. All right. So minimize, reduce your account size. All right. So Daniel, 300 is way too much. All right. If you're negative $300, that's way too much. All right. Understand, when you guys start trading, right, you want to go very, very small, the minimum lot size. Okay, the minimum lot size for the first, I would say definitely the first 90 days. All right. To the first 6 months might be long, but some everyone is different. Everyone is different. Okay. But you do not, when you start trading, you do not want to trade to make money. And I know traders don't like that, right? Right? But you do not want to trade to make money. If you do that, if you trade to make money on income, guess what? It's going to be very, very tough, right? It's going to be very, very tough. So, this is all about trading in the zone, trading in the zone. We want to take the money out of it, and we want to build some really, really good skills. All right. So minimize and just reduce. I I can't say this enough. Reduce your account size. Trade, you know, having a $200 in your account, and just that's gone. Just say, okay, that's I'm going to trade that amount. If I blow it, no big deal. No big deal. I'm going to go back and do it again. Don't put $5,000 in your account, not even $1,000 in your account, a couple of $100 in your account. There will be plenty of time to make money trading. All right, you'll have plenty of time to make money trading, but you've got to go through this process. You've got to go through this process. All right. And you've got to feel, you've got to, you know, you've got to feel this right here, these pullbacks. You've got to feel it, but it can't be too much, right? Where you closing trades because you're scared you're gonna lose, you know, $300 or $1,000 or you can't do that, right? Otherwise, guess what? This is a very good trade here, right? This is a very good trade right here. Almost a perfect trade. You guys can't tell yet, but I know that's a pretty good trade here because it held support. It held support right here, never broke support. We don't have a sell signal, right? Here is the buy signal right here, right? Here is resistance. We've got really good resistance right here, right? We've got really good here. Previous support is now resistance right here. And we're testing this resistance right here, right? We've got highs right here. And we're in a nice upward trend. So we're in a nice upward trend. Here is resistance right here. Here's the upward trend right here. The buyers are definitely in. All right, nice consolidation, right? Guess what? We break through this right here, right? This resistance, guess what? We can head all the way back up here. But guess what? If we do not stay in the trade here, if we get kicked out of the trade because of our emotions, right? Because we're trading too much, because we don't understand what's happening quite yet, then guess what? It's not going to work.
I get what Dave is saying. I want to elaborate for myself because I get what Dave is saying. And I'm gonna elaborate it for myself a little bit easier, if you don't mind, Dave.
For sure.
It's true, when you overtrade, you do feel it, and you're thinking about, rather than thinking about what's going on within the trade, you're thinking about, geez, my money, but you're not learning what's going on inside of the trade. So therefore, if you pull out of the trade early, you're going to miss the whole learning process. And next time you're going to repeat the same mistake again because you didn't get to see the whole thing that happened, that's taking place in front of your eyes.
Very good, Daniel. Very good. Good job. Good
Our
job.
emotions make us do crazy things.
Yeah.
We can't think really logically if
Yeah.
we're feeling a lot of strong emotions.
Yeah.
I read I'm in the book, and
Mhm.
I'm at this part that says that you have to accept the risk. You have to accept the pullback. If you accept it, then you're not going to have a strong emotional reaction if it goes against you,
Yeah.
because a lot of people hasn't accepted the risk. They hasn't accepted the pullback.
Yeah. And that's why I say, 90, 95%, 100% of the time, expect a pullback. So when it happens, guess what? It's no big deal, right? It's no big deal. And I have done it too. There are times when, very good traders have done it where, they might start trading larger amounts of capital and then get in a rut, right? Get in a rut. and they've got to go back to the basics, right? And reduce their account size, right? Reduce their account size. They're trading what they're trading so that they get back to the basics, to this here. All right. You will get to a point in your trading where, you know, you will get really good at this. Okay, really good at this, where you're not taking any of this. Your drawdowns are very, very minute, but you have to get to that point, right? But you have to go through this. You really do. You have to go through this. You have to feel the drawdown, right? You have to feel the drawdown. You have to stay in the trade. And if we cannot stay in the trade, forget it. If we can't stomach these pullbacks, I mean, we're wasting our time, because it is what it is, right? So especially new traders, even traders that have been, you know, trading for a while, you know, you have to take this. You have to feel it, right? And this is not even an exit. This is not even a loss. This is just a pullback. So if we can't stomach a pullback, boy, what happens when we have a loss like this? All right, if we can't stomach a pullback, and this is a small pullback, right? It really is, right? What happens when we take a loss, right? I mean, we are trading, we are traders. That's what, there's no guarantee, right? We are going to have losses, right? We are going to have pullbacks. We are going to have winning trades, right? So staying in the zone, trading in the zone, this is all part of it right here. This is all part of it. And if you are not able to stay in the trade and stomach the pullback, reduce your size, reduce your count, you know, reduce your account size and reduce your trading amount, and work through this. You've got to work through this. Okay, we all do, right? You guys have to work through this. All right. Who's having an issue with this? Is anyone having an, other than Daniel, is anyone else having an issue with this? With staying in the trade, all right, on the pullbacks? Anyone else?
Yeah, I think I'm with Daniel on that one, because when you see I'm kind of panicking a little bit when I see that pullback and I'm in the red, and then I feel like I'm getting too excited when you know, I'm in the positive, and then so it's this seesaw of emotions. And I wonder if it's helpful to maybe, after taking the trade, to make a note of where for example, like I'm at work, so I'm not looking at this all the time. And so maybe taking note of where the support and resistance is, and just know that price is between support and resistance, and so not to panic. I wonder if that would be helpful.
Yeah, that helps. That helps. Yeah, that will help a great deal. Knowing that within it hasn't broken support, so it's no big deal. But even if it breaks support, right? If it breaks support and you have that loss, right? You still have to deal with that, with the emotions of that. Okay, you still, so even if, right, we watch our support and resistance, and guess what, right? We should never get to the point where price held support, right? And it's moving higher and we have like a sigh of relief, like, oh, thank goodness. You know, it is just what it is. And I know it's easy for me to say that, right? Because I've been doing this for a very long time, right? But I want you guys to grow into that, all right? Where it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And what
David, you should make a t-shirt that says, stay calm, expect the pullback. Just cover your eyes.
I know, right? I
All
mean,
those stay calm shirts.
guys, you know, Peter takes some big trades, right? But he didn't start there, right? He didn't start there. So in order for you guys to get to the level where traders like Peter and you know, all these big traders, you have to start, you have to work this out, right? You have to work this out. All right, you have to work this out.
I'd
Hey,
like
Rose.
to share a war story. If you
Okay.
could pull up Moderna.
Moderna.
It's my most painful trade. And
All right.
I put this trade on my wall. I taped it up so I don't repeat the same mistakes.
Peter,
All
is that where the 5K went?
I'll tell the story once he pulls up Moderna.
All right, I'll put it up in a minute. Hey, Rose. Rose, you there?
Hi, Dave. Yes, I'm here.
I'm gonna pick on you
Okay.
because Rose contacted me. Was it last week, Rose? And Rose is like, David, it's retracing. Should I get out, right? And Rose, you've been with us for a while, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Rose has been with us, gosh, almost 2 years, a year and a half, almost 2 years?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. So even with Rose, right? And Rose has been doing this for a while, right? So even with Rose, these pullbacks are not easy.
No, they're painful.
They're painful.
Yeah, I lost quite a bit last week on USD CAT. I made money, and then I saw the chart is moving to my favor. I got in again I got greedy. I got in, and then guess what? It pulled back, and I lost almost half what I made. But anyway, learned my lesson. So yeah.
Yes. So these pullbacks, I you know, so there are two things that you guys really have to work on. And Peter, I'll get with your trade in a minute. There are two things you guys have to work on. You have to work on losses, right? You have to work, right? You guys have heard the Whipsaw song. You have to work on losses, and you have to work on pullbacks, right? You really, really have to. You have to get to the point where it really is no big deal. No big deal. Right? This here is easy, right? And even with this, taking you know, profits, right? That's even tough too, because a lot of times, you know, when we want to let the trade run and get the maximum profit. So even with winning trades, we've got to work some things out. All right. But these pullbacks here, if you guys, and I know it's difficult, but if you guys get out of these trades on these pullbacks because of your emotions, all right, it's going to be very, very tough. Okay, it's going to be very, very difficult, because what will happen is this: you'll get out here, right, and then the price moves like this, and now you're chasing it up in this area here. All right, and these pairs move really fast. All right, so we don't want that. So we've got to work this out, and the only way to do it is really reduce your account size to the ridiculous, right? To the ridiculous, so that, you know, And everyone is different. Everyone has a different risk tolerance. All right. Everyone has trading with a different amount of capital. But I don't really, it doesn't matter your account size. It really doesn't matter. Just the minimum, the very minimum, and until you get to the point where if it pulls back, it's there's no emotions, or it's minimized. Your emotions, your anxiety is really, it's not going to affect your trade. And you'll know when you get there. You guys will know when you get to the point where this doesn't affect you. All right. And that's when you know you're on your way. Right. And then what you want to do is just slowly increase your capital size. Increase the amount, slowly. You got to work through this. Everyone does. But you've got to work through this. You got to work through those losses, and then you got to work through the pullbacks, and then you've got to work through those profits. Right? Work through staying in those profits. Right? Don't get too excited. So we don't want big lows or big highs. We want to be right in the middle. No big emotions, right? Right in the middle, right? Steady as it goes, right in the middle. All right, Peter, what was your symbol?
Moderna, mRNA.
All right. All right, where's stock boss right there?
You could do 240.
240. Oh, 240. Okay. All right, we'll do it. Yeah.
So just quickly, this lesson was one of my position is wrong, and I was going to take a $500 loss. So instead of just taking the $500 loss, I took an $8,000 loss. Terrible money management. And it's just because of a pullback.
All right, let's find it.
Can you explain it specifically?
Yeah, once you pull up the chart. mRNA. Perfect. So right there.
One second, Peter. More data. So go ahead, Peter.
There. You can just leave it there. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to trade the markdown phase. So if you could just point out to that white candle in November 4th, right there. Yeah, right above there, that white candle. So that was the pullback. But actually the green candle to the left of that white candle.
Right here.
Go to the left, a little bit to the left, that huge green candle up. Yeah, that's a pullback. So I was bearish on that one. And I opened up a huge position, $10,000 position on 340 or 350. And that was the stupid. So instead of just taking the $500 loss, I opened up a $10,000 position, and it just pulls back all the way up. And instead of just getting out quickly, it just take the $500 loss. I ate a $8,000 loss on that one, on this pullback.
Wow.
So the lesson is basically money management. Don't put too much money at risk and just take the small loss. And don't trade vaccine stocks.
And get,
can-
hey, one
I'm
second,
sorry.
one second,
I-
Madison, one
okay.
second, 1 second, Madison. Okay, guys, listen to how, all right. Now, Peter didn't want to have that lost, right? But if one of us, right? So one of us had that $8,000 loss, right? So some of you guys here, right? You folks here, right? An $8,000 loss. I mean, listen, right? So if Peter can take an $8,000 loss, right? And I'm just showing the levels where you guys want to get to, right? An $8,000 loss, then over here, $100 drawdown shouldn't be a big deal. And I'm just letting you guys know that at some point in your trading, right, this is going to be no big deal. It's a big deal right now, right? So a $200 drawdown, $500 drawdown, it's a big deal right now. But if you stay in this a long time, right, if you do the work, right, you do the work, guess what? You know, this you will forget, right? You will forget the fact that, you know, this was even a concern. All right. So you want to get to the point. I mean, think of it like this, right? Right. My brother trades and he does options, and he was looking at a big trader. And he noticed that that trader had a $40,000 loss. All right, a $40,000 loss. But then he was going through the rest of his trades, and the trader had a profitable trade where he made almost $1 million. Right? So it's all relative, right? Right? Peter had an $8,000 loss, right? But does it sound like he's right? That's the end of his trading career, you know?
David,
Right?
you should have scolded me on telling me, take the small loss, just accept it, and move on. So that's, I always write it on my walls. Just take, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Just get out. Just take the small loss.
Take the small
And
loss.
you should maybe talk about taking small losses instead of taking a big loss.
Yeah. So what will okay, and Stella mentioned it earlier, right? Support and resistance. This is where you guys are going to take your smallest loss. If you buy right at resistance and you sell at support, right, you're going to minimize your losses. All right. Now you can do it on any time frame, but this is where, right? This is where you're going to minimize your losses, right? This is it. This is it right here, right here. So a good practice is when you enter the trade, just keep in mind where your support is. Right? Keep an eye, just know, okay, I'm good. It hasn't broken support. The sellers are not in. We don't have any red candles, right? I'm good. And that will help with your emotions. But guess what? It will also help with your losses. Okay? And you will know, right? Look at here, from here to here, right? From here, here was our buy, broke support, here was our loss, right here. Here was our buy, here is support here. If the price broke support right here, that would be our loss. So after a while, you can here, same thing here. Bought at resistance, price broke, right here was your loss right here. All right. So this is about the same as this. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit less. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit more. So just be ready. Just be ready for that loss. Anticipate that loss so that mentally you're ready. Right? Mentally you're ready. This is a mental game. This is a mental game. Anticipate the like I said, reduce your account size. Don't blow your account. You know, don't put 80% of your capital on one trade, right? Don't put, you know, put 5%, 2%, all right, and work this out. You've got to, you guys have to work through this. You have to. You have to. You have to work through these pullbacks. You have to work through these losses. It's just what it is. It's part of the game. It's just part of it. You can't get away. You're not going to get 90% wins. You won't even get 50% wins. You might get a 30% win. But that 30%, guys, if you can do 30, 40%, you're making a lot of money because you're letting your winning trades run. So you're going to get those pullbacks a lot. You're going to take those losses a lot. All right. All right. Babe Ruth, right? The home run king, right? He was also the strikeout king. And people forget that. He struck out more than anyone else. But he was also the home run, king. Michael Jordan, he talks about missing a lot of shots. But the ones he made, the shots that he made were the important shots, right? So we are going to have losses. It's just part of it. And you're going to have a lot of it. Right? You can have 10, and I talk about this, you can have 10 trades, 9 losing trades, and 1 winning trade, and still do really well because we let our winning trade run and then we cut our losing trade. Okay. So that's the tough part of trading. And that's why I wanted to talk about this. Right, this evening, because you will get to the point where it's no big deal. These pullbacks is no big deal, but you guys have to get to that point. Right now, it's a big deal. Right now, it's a big deal, and that's okay. Everyone has to go through that process. All right, everyone has to go through that process. Accept it. If you don't accept it, you'll end up quitting. Yeah, if you don't accept it, at some point it gets too frustrating. Okay, so listen to Trading in the Zone. Really understand what's happening with price. Understand yourself, right? Your emotions, your risk tolerance, right? So. But this you guys have to work through. You have to work through, right? Master accepting losses. No, we don't. As individuals, as people, we don't like to lose, right? We don't like to lose. All right, and it's embarrassing, right? We think that we are no good. Right, but it's not the market is not against us, right? It doesn't have a personal vendetta against us, right? It just is what it is. All right, so
That was the main lesson for me. It's like I was not willing to accept a loss, just a small loss, $500, and the market made me eat $8,000.
Yeah,
because I was not willing to be wrong.
Yeah, and it will do that. If I always look reference to Bitcoin because Bitcoin has so many lessons right now you know, that, I mean, I know there are people, I know one gentleman who bought Bitcoin at 65,000 and he's still holding it, hoping that it gets back, you know, that it goes to 200,000, you know. I mean, look at the price action on Bitcoin going lower and lower and lower. And to be holding, going rather than getting out, like Peter, right? Getting out, you keep losing, right? So, you know, we definitely don't want to do that, right? That's not what we're doing, right? But boy, we should be able to manage these pullbacks. We should be able to manage these losses. Okay, so I am proud of you guys that went through that last week with pound, or even this week with pound yen, right? And dollar CAD, right? And you still back in, right? You still back in and you're still trading and you're not giving up, right? You're not giving up. You're working things out. It's not easy, right? So don't expect you to just get this. It's not easy, right? Very few individuals succeed at this. It's hard, right? But accept that it's hard, accept that you've got to work through this. You've got to work through this. You've got to get through this process. And then you'll be on the other side like Peter and some of our other traders. You know, they all went through this, right? They all went through this. Some will do it faster than others, right? It's not a race. There's no, you know, there's no race. There's not a race here, right? You do it at your own speed. I love the fact that Rose, you know, like I said, Rose has been with us for 1.5 years, and you know, I'll get a text from Rose, hey Dave, you know, it's pulling back. What should I do? Should I stay in? And I know she knows what to do. I know Rose knows what to do. I know she has the system, you know, but she just needs that assurance, right, to stay in. So we all work together. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing, right? But the more you do it, the more you understand price. I always say we got to fall in love with price. We got to love these movements, right? We've got to understand what the price is doing. Draw out your trend lines, you know, look at this, study the price action, right? Follow the price all the way up, so that it's not a frightening thing. It's, you know, it's you know, we have a relationship with price, right? We have to get to the point where we have a relationship with price. We understand it, right? We really understand it. It's not this big, bad, evil thing, right? So I know, and I'll close with this. Danielle mentioned that, yeah, pound yen is a wild animal, right? Right, it's a wild animal. It really does move. Well, yes, and there are pros and cons to that, right? So the pro is, guess what? It moves. There's a lot of volatility, right? So we can make a lot of money with pound yen. And the con is that we've got to manage it. We've got to figure it out, and we've got to manage it, and we've got to be we've got to be very, very careful, very careful how we trade it, All right. Any questions for me?
Yeah, I have a question. What broker does everybody use to trade? Because you guys obviously use the same broker or platform.
For new traders, for Forex, we recommend Forex.com. Okay, so Forex.com. And some of our more experienced traders use Hugo's Way, which allows for more leverage. So
How do you
Forex,
spell that?
Hugo's Way,
Yeah,
Hugos Way.
8, like the number 8?
No, H.
H.
Yeah, as in Harry.
And then,
Forex.com.
no, how do you spell it? H-U?
Hugos, Hugo's Way, W-A-Y.
W-A.
Yeah, Hugo's Way and Forex.com. So Forex.com is where we would want to start, all right, because it has the lower leverage. Okay. All right. Any other questions for me?
How is leverage useful or not useful?
Well, leverage can work against you or for you. All
Okay.
right. So just think of leverage is like you borrowing like anything else, right? They're giving you more capital to trade. All right. So Forex.com is 50 to 1. All right. That's the max. Hugo's Way is 500 to 1.
So for every dollar, they give you 500?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have to be careful though. You have to be careful with that leverage. All right. So new traders shouldn't even consider Hugo's Way. And you can move the leverage up and down with Hugo's Way. So you can move it up and down, but I say stick with Forex.com. Okay. Stick with Forex.com. All right. Any other questions for me? Any other questions? Okay. Practice, guys. Work on this. Work on this.
So if I wanted, I'm sorry, one more question. If I wanted to trade stocks or any other thing, what broker do I use then?
The easiest is Robinhood.
Robinhood?
Yeah, easiest one is Robinhood. When you get started first, Madison, you want an easy platform to use, okay? So Forex.com, Robinhood, there are others out there, but that's simple, easy
Okay, thank you.
execute. All right, work this out, guys. Stay in these trades, figure this thing out. Don't get out, right? Take the loss. Feel the loss. Feel it. It's part of it. You're going to get it. All right. Take the loss. Reduce your account size. Reduce the amounts that you trade, so that you want to feel the loss, right? Feel the emotions, so that you get past it. If you never want to take a loss, if you never take the loss, right, you won't get through it. I trust me. We all have to go through it, right, Peter? Right, Peter?
That's right.
That's right. All right, guys, thanks so much. All right, good information. Just continue to work with this, work this out, work through the pullbacks, work through the losses, get to the point where it's absolutely no big deal. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a really good class. All right, we have a lot going on in the equity markets. I've been talking about really do not be getting puts and shorts. All right, this market is moving higher. The VIX is coming down. It's at 22, right? These markets here, look at the Dow. It's pulling right back up. All right, there shouldn't be any surprise of this price action here. All right, so you know, energy, we'll talk about energy tomorrow, energy stocks. I'm thinking by next week or so, if the price action holds, we could probably start getting buy signals in the equity markets to start moving higher again. Okay. All right. So Peter, I know you do a lot of puts, so manage your trades. Okay. Because things are definitely, we got a green candle right here. Green candle right here today. All right. So, you know, and you know, once they really figure out that price is moving, this market is moving higher, they might really jump in and take this thing higher here. So we're no longer testing that support area. We're all the way up in here. We recapture this moving average, right? Like right here. All right. Guess what? All-time highs are right here. We're not too far from all-time highs, right? We could really get going. So be careful with puts and shorts. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. All right,
All right,
guys.
thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks, Madison. Thanks, Rose. Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Peter. Thanks,
Thanks,
Stella.
David.
Bye-bye,
Good night.
guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.